Okay, after a couple hours worth of work, this is where we're at. So at this point, I've gone ahead and I drilled out all the front lip and all this side here, and I removed all the old patches, including this old trunk drop-off piece, which was just a mess. Took all this crap out. And now I got to figure out what to do with this frame rail here, because this is kind of a nightmare. This side's no better. I got to see what we're going to do about that trunk drop off, because it's been fixed up before. As you can see, there's still a bit of rot and stuff in here. Oh, then I ended up having to make this panel here. This is the piece that goes in here that the trunk actually sits on, the rear of it anyway. It was so far gone that I couldn't even try and take off what was left of the old trunk floor to get it off there. So I ended up just making a new one, because this is what I had to work with. It was completely wrecked. That over here. I mean, there literally was nothing left of it to be able to use to put the new trunk floor in. It was just gone, and it had been fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed. So we're not going to bother with that. We'll just make one up and throw that in there, which is what I did. And this is the new trunk drop off for the driver's side. So obviously where you see those cuts I made so I could fold it, I'll weld that stuff up solid and grind it clean before I put it in. But I went ahead and I took the bead roller to it so I could at least get the same kind of lines that the factory piece had. Because you know what, even if the other side doesn't have it, I didn't do the other side, somebody else did. If I'm doing this side, I'm going to do this side right. So tomorrow I'll weld that in probably before I go to work. And I'll probably drill this out so I can get this bracket off, because I'll obviously have to put that back on if we ever want to close the trunk lid again. But that's where we're at. Okay, kind of an update on the Acadian. Trunk floor is tacked in. I have somewhat rebuilt the rear frame rails in it. So at least now they're really good and solid. Like there is nothing moves at all. I made a new trunk extension. I had to make a piece for there. I had to make pieces for back here. I had to make pieces for back here. I had to make this entire section back here. Obviously I'm gonna have to make all the pieces that go from front here all the way down the sides. Yeah, so we are getting somewhere though. So hopefully today, I got nothing going on this weekend. It's raining all weekend, so it's a good weekend to hibernate here in the garage and try and get as much of this done as we can. Because I'd like to be done the trunk at least by next week there, and then I can start doing the floors in it. And that should go a little quicker because unlike the trunk, I have the entire floors. I have everything, right? Whereas in the trunk here, I had to make a lot of the stuff for it. Anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, not sure if I showed that I put the pan in it or not. I can't remember. It don't matter. Anyway, so the center pan's in. Made a piece to go up at the front, and I made this piece and bead rolled it, put it in. By the time it's all cleaned up and primed, you'll never know the difference. So I gotta make a piece to go over here still, and that's about it. I gotta put the spare tire hold down bracket back on. I gotta put the trunk bracket back on. Yeah. So after 23 hours, this is what we have. We have a Acadian that actually has a trunk floor. Plus it has new trunk extension on this side, and it has all the rear section of it rebuilt, and it has all the corner that goes on this side, and I fixed the frame rails in the back and all that fun stuff. So on these TV shows where they show you all this done in an hour, they're full of shit, for lack of a better. But we already knew that, because this is what 23 hours looks like. I figure I have another 2, maybe 3 hours left in the trunk here before all this is primed and completed.